So in this video, I'm going to be sharing a story with you of negotiating my first deal. This was a $3.5 million deal. I had never been in a negotiation that big and especially of that nature. What is this $3.5 million deal? It was a business that that we wanted to buy in the healthcare sector. And I was the lead negotiator. I'm also the managing director of my company. So I was making the phone calls to find an attractive business to buy. And I found this man who was interested to sell his clinic. So I met him in his clinic. It had, very beautiful, location, very beautiful layout. It was a very premium facility. It had a bunch of Range Rovers and Rolls Royces parked outside, premium clientele, supermodels, with 5 million followers on Instagram. This was a cosmetic clinic, where you get plastic surgery, that kind of clinic based in Dubai. And it's a big business there. And I went up and I met the owner of the clinic, who was also a doctor. And he was right off the bat, he seemed like a powerful guy. He had a $150,000 watch. And right from the entrance, the clinic was dripping with money. And this is how you kind of get a gut feeling about what you're buying, if this is good or not. When you have this kind of wealth everywhere, that's a big sign that, this clinic is making a lot of money. So we had a little bit of conversation. I had the first meeting. We just got introduced. In the second meeting, I had my, CFO and one individual who was a senior partner in KPMG, which is one of the top accounting firms in the world. And I had my finance director, who was also, who happened to be a CFO of a $400 million company, and he was also a shareholder in that company. So heavy hitters, I was there with him. And I had one of my lawyers there, who was from a top law firm. And we 4 individuals went into that meeting. So the first meeting, he took me kind of lightly. The second meeting, suddenly, I opened his eyes and I got his attention. And so we again had some conversation where we understood a little bit more about his business. We asked him to share some financial information. And, it was, so he shared all those details. And we asked him, send us the financial information. We will analyze the deal. And then we will, meet for a third round, which would be a negotiation. So we went back, we got the financial information, we analyzed the deal, we put together a financial projection. I did it with the help of my finance director. He had 30 years of experience, so he shared with me the entire framework of the deal. We got the lawyers on the call, we structured a nice deal and everything, the price, the terms, everything. So it's important when you're doing this kind of deal, this preparation, that gives you comfort and you know what to talk about. You can't go into these negotiations without knowing what you can offer, what terms you can offer, what price you can offer. And you got to go in there with, high-powered individuals with you. So after we got the information, we analyzed it and we prepared kind of like a report on it. And the deal structure. We got together and we created the whole deal structure. And it was time to make this proposal. And that was, the deal. And how I had originally thought that it's, negotiations have to be very tense, where things get very intense or things get very emotionally tense. I have had those types of negotiations, but this one was very different. This one was very soft in some sense. There was a lot of rapport there. So I get a call from this individual and he says, listen, Prithvi, I want to take you out for a dinner, for a nice dinner. It's going to be on me. Would you be interested? I said, yes. And this man who seemed so powerful, such a successful clinic, he wanted me he took me out on a nice dinner. We sat down, we were in very good rapport. And he said, how did you do this? How did you bring all these people together? How are you in this position? You are such, how old are you? I told him I'm 27 years old. I was 27 at that time. And he said, it's really incredible what you're doing. I can see that you're going to be a very wealthy, successful man. And I said, yes. And this is one of the things when you're visualizing and when you're doing your affirmations, people sort of feel that presence, your walk changes. And also the team that I had around me, he could see the trajectory that I was going in. And we had a good conversation and he said, so Prithvi, how does it work? I haven't actually been in a negotiation like this. And, I want you to advise me on how this process will work of selling my company. So I told him, we'll agree on a price. We'll agree on terms. We will agree on your role, your salary, and what the next 5 years of the company will look like. And he said, how much of my company do you want? I said, we will take a majority position of 60% of your company. And he said, how much would you offer me? I told him the price, which was already decided based on the financial projection. And he says, how will I get the money and all of this? And then I said, we'll raise the money from the banks. He said, why would the banks give you the money? I'm so sorry for asking the question, but just to understand. And I said, well, your company is profitable and it has a healthy cash flow. So we can use this cash flow. We can take a loan from the company and we can use this cash flow to pay the loan back on a monthly installment basis. And we can stretch the loan over 5 to 7 years. And the monthly payment is going to be much smaller than your monthly cash flow. And we can pay the loan, we can get the financing, we will pay you from that financing. And some amount we will pay you now, some we will pay after 5 years. And we had a very good conversation. He says, sounds good. And we agreed to the deal. And later on, all of this was structured in a document, which is known as MOU. We signed it, and then it was time to get the deal financed. We couldn't finance that particular deal because the banks wanted to get involved in bigger transactions. That's just how the UAE banks work. They want to do big deals. They said, if you want to do M&A, which is buying businesses, bring us a much bigger business. This is a small deal. So we couldn't get it financed, but just wanted to share sort of my first negotiations with you. And if you're someone who's interested in getting involved in doing these types of deals and getting in positions where you're negotiating these deals and being advised by these high-profile advisors and get involved in this business, reach out to me. I offer one free consultation call where we will assess, what your vision is, where you want to go in life and with your business. And after that, we can see if we are a right fit for each other to do this mentorship program. My mentorship program lasts 3 to 6 months. It's typically one-on-one. So I cannot do this for a lot of people. I can only take 3 to 4 clients every 3 to 6 months, actually. So the seats can get full pretty fast. So reach out to me. Someone from my team, either myself or my team, will get in touch with you after you have reached out. You can write me an email. You can send me a message on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. And we'll set up this call, assess, and see if we would be a good fit. If we are a good fit, this 3 to 6 month period, we will go step by step on defining your business model, building your team, and getting you in position of doing multi-million-dollar deals. And, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. If you just want to enjoy the free content, that's fine with me. Enjoy the free content. And yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you soon.